Welcome back to Café Crashdown. I am Kayla, your host here at the Crash Hub, and today we are diving into Shudder and my top 5 picks for February. It's a season of love, which means devotion, obsession, and the kind of horror that gets a little, well, too close. But before we jump in, let's address the gentle cobwebs. It's been a little quiet around here, I admit it, and that is because I brought a new little ghoul into the world. My daughter Liana was born on Halloween. Yes, really, some babies arrive softly, some arrive dramatically. Mine arrived on the spookiest night of the year and immediately claimed her place in the lore. So, welcome Liana to the world and to Café Crashdown. February horror hits differently. This isn't chaos horror, it's connection horror. Stories about longing, possession, devotion, sacrifice, and the terrifying things we are willing to do to become, what we need to be for the people that we love. These aren't background watches. They're films that sit right with you. No rankings drama, just a curated list for the season. And quick housekeeping before we begin. If you enjoy cinematic horror, thoughtful scares, and spooky conversations that don't yell at you, then like this video and pull up a chair. It helps keep this cozy little cafe open. And now let's get to my top 5 picks. Right out with it, we have Humanist vampire seeking consenting suicidal person. That is a mouthful. At its heart, this is a coming-of-age story, just with bangs. The film follows Sasha, a young vampire who refuses to kill humans, not because she can't, but because she won't. That moral refusal leaves her starving, isolated, and struggling to exist in a world built on consumption. When Sasha meets a lonely teenager who offers himself as a solution, with consent, the story comes something very rare. What makes this film so special is its tone. It's tender, it's awkward, it's quietly funny in a way that feels very human. This is a vampire story about restraint rather than hunger, about choosing not to take, even when you desperately need something. That's why it's such a perfect February pick. It reframes love as care, not as consumption. Cozy horror with a surprisingly big heart. Wake up. Attachment begins like a quiet romance. A once famous actress in Denmark falls in love with a visiting academic. After Leah struggles a mysterious seizure, Maya follows her to London into a home she shares with her mother. And from the moment Maya arrives, something feels off. What makes Attachment special is how it builds horror through intimacy. There are no big scares. The dread comes from proximity, the emotional dependence, from realizing love can quietly isolate you from the world. This is a film about devotion and conditions, about families that close ranks, about love that tightens instead of loosens. It's elegant, unsettling, and perfect for a late February night when you want something slow and suffocating in the best way. Next up, we have Possession. Now let's talk about love at its most unhinged, okay? Possession is not a breakup movie. It's a complete emotional collapse captured on film. The story follows a marriage unraveling in West Berlin. But very quickly, this stops being a domestic drama and becomes something feral and horrifying. What makes Possession legendary isn't the creature, it's the performances. I mean, they're absolutely raw. They're exhausting and completely unforgettable. This is love as identity erosion, love as emotional violence, love as something that leaves nothing intact. So why include this in February? Because horror understands something romance often avoids. Love can absolutely destroy you.
You ever heard of a lady named Solveig?
Solveig the Witch? Yeah, everybody around here knows her.
And now we have Mother of Flies. Let's return to devotion. but a little bit darker. Mother of Flies is folk horror rooted in desperation. When a young woman faces a terminal diagnosis, she turns to a witch in the woods for help. The bargain she enters into is very simple and very devastating. Every cure has a cost. What makes this film special is its intimacy. It's small, quiet, and ritualistic. The horror isn't a spectacle, it's sacrifice. This is horror about bargaining, about grief, about how love turns into fear when time runs out. Slow, grimy, and deeply unsettling. A perfect February pick if you want something that lingers long after the credits roll.
Well, that's pretty good.
We're ending February with something that looks right. And absolutely, it's not. Spiral follows Aaron and Malik as they move their family into a picturesque town in search of safety, community, and a better life. But this is suburban horror with teeth. What makes Spiral special is how it explores love as protection and how that instinct can blind us to danger. It's about conformity, control, and the cost of wanting to belong. This film works because it feels plausible, because it understands how horror hides behind smiles, block parties, and polite neighbors. A sharp, unsettling way to close out the month. And of course, this month, you can't forget Joe Bob Briggs with The Last Drive-In. He definitely has a special this month, so you guys will definitely have to check that out. So those are my top 5 Shudder picks for February. Love stories, horror stories, and everything in between. Tell me in the comments, which one are you watching first? And do you like your February horror tender or devastating? And if you'd like to keep meeting here under the low light with good stories and complicated monsters, subscribe to Café Crashdown and pull up a chair to join us. You can find me on the interwebs at Café Crashdown. It is my birthday coming up this week, so hey, you can totally leave me a message to say happy birthday to me. Until next time, stay cozy, stay curious, and remember, love is never harmless.